Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Mike.
And I am Karen. Today we are looking at part C of Books Are Fun. Well, okay, let me ask you, Mike. I mean,
yes.
You love reading. You enjoy reading so much.
I do.
But you know, time has really changed. And then the way people read have also changed. You know, nowadays, a lot of people don't actually go to the bookstore to buy real books anymore. Maybe they will read ebooks, right?
That's absolutely true.
You just need like a tablet computer. You can read it and it's not so heavy to carry around. Do you do that?
I actually have a big bookshelf at home and I love to go to the bookstore, but just this last Christmas, my wife got me one of those ebooks. And so I've been using that more. It's very convenient.
It is.
The books are cheaper, right?
Oh, are they cheaper?
They definitely are. They don't take up any space. They're great for traveling because you just take one little machine with many books in it instead of taking all the books in your bag. And you can also find a lot of old books for the e-reader, for the e-book that you might not be able to find in a bookstore. So I think both of them are good, but really the feel of the paper, the smell of the book, there's something really special about holding a real book in your hand. So I think I'll still buy the old books, but I won't say that ebooks aren't good. They can be super convenient. Which do you prefer?
Well, actually, I like to be convenient, especially when I'm traveling and I can't carry really heavy stuff. You know, it's not really comfortable. So I actually prefer ebooks.
Okay, and I guess the other good thing for you as a mom, you can have books for you in there. You can have books for the kids in there. It's really convenient instead of carrying a whole bag full of books. All right, you guys can have a chat about which one you prefer to read with as we start part C of our dialogue. Day 3, Books Are Fun. Sylvia and Conan are back and they're going to be shopping at a bookstore, hopefully. Let's see. Sylvia and Conan are shopping for gifts at a bookstore.
I love our relatives' children. It's so easy to shop for them.
Yeah, my niece is still young enough to enjoy picture books.
My nephew loved that kind of children's book once too. However, he's now into comic books.
I was also into those when I was a kid. I loved the art.
So today we are looking at part C of Books Are Fun. And we're still looking at these two characters today, Sylvia and Conan. And today, Sylvia and Conan are shopping for gifts at a bookstore, your favorite place.
It's one of my happy places. Absolutely. Love going to bookstores because so many of them are interesting and they are also great places to find gifts. Now, a gift is something that you give to someone because you like them and it's a special day and you want to show them how much you like them or love them or appreciate them. Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, maybe your gift at Chinese New Year is a red envelope filled with money. Yay! But the idea is we give these to people. We don't expect them to pay us or give us anything back. We just want to do it to be kind and show how much we like that person. And yeah, if you like books, a bookstore is a great place to find gifts. But a lot of bookstores now, they have other gifts too, right?
That's
They'll
right.
have coffee mugs and t-shirts and hats.
Stationery.
And stationery. And of course, you'll find comic books, magazines, many things to read and enjoy. If someone in your life likes that thing, it would be a great gift to get for them. So let's look at the dialogue and find out what kinds of gifts Sylvia and Conan are shopping for.
All right, so Sylvia starts off the conversation by saying, I love our relatives' children. It's so easy to shop for them. Aw, she is very loving from the things that she says, right? I think she really loves children. She even loves her relatives' children. And it's very easy to shop for them. That means very easy to buy gifts for them, right?
Exactly right. Yeah.
So relative, what is a relative? That just means a person who is connected with another or others by blood or marriage. So for example, you could say, at the family reunion, I saw relatives I haven't seen in years. Because usually you probably don't see your uncle, your aunts, or your cousins, only on special occasions, right? So your relatives, also like your grandpa and your grandma, people like that.
That's right. People in your family. All right. So yes, buying of things for your relatives, especially little kids, can be lots of fun. Kids are easy to shop for because they just say, I want this. I like that. Whereas if I shop for my mom, she always goes, I don't know, I don't need anything. Kids always need stuff and they will tell you what. So Conan, he agrees. It is easy and fun to shop for relatives, especially the younger relatives. He says, yeah, my niece is still young enough to enjoy picture books. Okay, so this is quite a young child, and this is his niece. Now, your niece would be if you were an older person and you have a brother or sister who has a child, and that child is a girl, that is your niece. All right, so it basically means that someone in your family is old enough to have had children, and one of those children is a girl. It's your brother or your sister, so their kid, if it's a girl, is your niece. If it's a boy, it would be a nephew.
That's right. And now Sylvia says, my nephew loved that kind of children's book once too. However, he's now into comic books. Because we know that usually young children, they cannot really read by themselves yet. So they would love to read like picture books, like storybooks with lots of pictures. And then the parents can read it to them, right?
Exactly.
But now the nephew is probably a little bit older. He has moved on to comic books. Okay, so nephew, like you said before, it's like your niece, but the boy version of niece, right? So basically, it's the son of someone's brother or sister, brother-in-law or sister-in-law. So for example, you could say, I'm planning a birthday party for my nephew.
Okay, so this is the boy child of your brother or your sister. And we also had this adverb once. Once just means one time or at a time in the past. So if I say I've only been to Japan once, that means I have only gone there one time. Or if I say once when I was a kid, I met a movie star. This means at one time in the past, a long time ago, something interesting happened to me. All right, back to the dialogue. Conan, he says, I was also into those when I was a kid. I loved the art. So he was into comic books,
That's
I think
right.
he's talking about here. If you're into something, that means you really like it. It's a hobby or a passion or something you enjoy. And this can change over time, right? Maybe when you were younger, you were really into video games, but now you don't play them so much. So that just means at that time you did this a lot or enjoyed it a lot. When he was a kid, he really liked comic books. He read them very often. And what was it he loved? He loved the art. So it wasn't the stories, it wasn't the battles, it wasn't the superpowers. It was the art, the drawings in the comic books that he really, really enjoyed. And I think a lot of people would agree.
That's right.
All right, we'll take a break and then we'll be back with more from the bookstore.
Are there any art books about that? Maybe my nephew would like one.
There are, but some may not be right for his age.
Will you help me look for one?
Sure, it will be my pleasure.
All right, we are back, and Conan and Sylvia are still talking about books that they can buy as great gifts for their nieces and nephew. Well, for Conan's niece and Sylvia's nephew. Remember, Conan's niece, she's quite young. She still likes picture books. But Sylvia's nephew, this male child of her brother and sister, he's a little older. He liked the picture books before, but now he likes comic books. And maybe it's not just the comic books that he likes to read and enjoy for the art. Sylvia's thinking that maybe he might like to make his own comic books or learn how to do that art by himself. So she has a great question for Conan.
That is right. And now Sylvia says, are there any art books about that? Oh, maybe my nephew will like one. Just like you said, because she knows that her nephew really enjoys reading comic books and maybe the art that is in the comic books. So she's wondering, maybe there's some type of art books maybe that can help you or teach you, you know, so you can learn how to draw these comic characters, right?
Exactly. You could probably find the history of Marvel, and it will have lots of pictures of different superheroes from many different times, or, you know, the history of Batman, and it will show you how the Batman pictures and style has changed, and even maybe show you how to start doing your own art. So that would be very cool if you like art and comic books and want to make your own. Conan says there are art books that teach you and show you comic book style art. There are, but some may not be right for his age. Yeah, I've seen some of these comic books, sort of history books. There's often a lot of writing in them, and they explain, well, this artist joined in 1975 and he did this and stuff. So it's really interesting, but maybe for a younger kid who just likes comic books, it would be a little too serious. But in a few years, they might love it. But anyway, they're going to go look in the bookstore and see what they can find. So Sylvia says,
will you help me look for one?
Okay.
Because maybe she doesn't exactly know where to look for these art books. But obviously, Conan probably has a better idea because he also enjoys comic books and also art books too.
That's true. And bookstores can be big and full of lots of stuff. And yeah, would it be in the comic book section or in the art book section?
I really don't know.
You might want to split up and, you know, work as a team. Anyways, Conan sounds very happy to do this, to go on this little comic book art book hunt. He says, sure, it will be my pleasure.
Aww.
It will be my pleasure. I would love to do that. I would be happy to join you.
That's right. So pleasure, that is a noun. It just means something that gives a feeling of joy or happiness. Something that you enjoy, something that makes you happy. So for example, you could say watching sports gave him great pleasure. So for someone who loves watching sports, if you're watching a game, of course you're going to feel great pleasure. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to feel very, very happy when you are doing it, right?
There you go. A lot of enjoyment. And also as an expression, if you say it would be my pleasure or simply my pleasure, that's basically saying, yes, I would be happy to do that when someone asks you for help. All right, guys, that's all the time we have. I hope they find their books. I hope they find great books. And if they don't find the perfect book, they will probably find an almost perfect book because bookstores are magical places.
Exactly. And we know that books are definitely lots of fun.
They for sure are. So we encourage you to read as much as you can. Comic books, art books, biography, horror, fantasy, whatever you like to read. Do it for fun, do it for pleasure, and do it to become a better you. All right, guys, take care of yourselves and each other and your books, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you next time.
I have to dust my books.
Really? All the time, eh?
Yeah. Sylvia and Conan are shopping for gifts at a bookstore.
I love our relatives' children. It's so easy to shop for them.
Yeah, my niece is still young enough to enjoy picture books.
My nephew loved that kind of children's book once too. However, he's now into comic books.
I was also into those when I was a kid. I loved the art.
Are there any art books about that? Maybe my nephew would like one.
There are, but some may not be right for his age.
Will you help me look for one?
Sure, it will be my pleasure.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 gift 名词礼物。I bought a birthday gift for my mom. 我买了一个生日礼物给妈妈。下一个单字 relative 名词亲戚。Lily visited her relatives last weekend. Lily 上周末拜访了她的亲戚。下一个单字 once 副词曾经。Roger once worked as a teacher. Roger 曾经当过老师。最后一个单字 pleasure 名词愉快乐事。It is a pleasure to meet you. 很高兴见到你。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 shop for something 选购某物。Shop 指的是购物，在这里是一个不及物动词，要用 for 来接后面的受词。我们来看看这个例句。My sister went to the mall to shop for clothes. 我姐姐去了购物中心选购衣服。下一个文法 Somebody is 加形容词 enough to 加动词，某人足够怎么样得以做某事。Enough 在这里是副词，意思是足够的，用来修饰前面的形容词。我们来看看这个例句 Lucy is brave enough to try skydiving.Lucy 够勇敢去尝试跳伞。Skydiving 指的是跳伞。最后一个文法 Somebody is into something 某人对某事物感兴趣。Into 在这里表示对什么很感兴趣，超喜欢什么。我们来看看这个例句 Brian is into chess now. Brian 现在对西洋棋很热衷。以上就是这一课的重点单词跟文法，我们下一课再见。拜拜。
Hey, it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie. Did you know this statue is actually MIT?
MIT, like the university?
No, MIT stands for Made in Taiwan.
Oh, it's one of those abbreviations.
And that's what we're going to work on today. Abbreviations. All right, let's work on some abbreviations. All right, our first one is AI. What is AI?
I think I means intelligence.
Okay.
But A is artificial.
I think it's Apple intelligence.
Apple.
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence.
AI is artificial intelligence.
Very good. Okay, what about PLS?
Please?
Please.
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 Very good. Okay, and then our last one, NP.
No, please.
No photo.
No pressure.
No problem.
Very good. All right, what did we learn today? Let's work on some abbreviations. Our first one is AI, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. So for example, ChatGPT is a great artificial intelligence tool. Then we have PLS, please, please. So for example, you say, I'll take 1 hamburger, please. Usually this is shorthand for when we text. Then we have NP, no problem, no problem. So for example, you could say, no problem, it's free of charge. It's kind of another way of also saying you're welcome. That's all we have for today. Kiwi later.